Hi everyone! This video is going to be about overthinking, overanalyzing, obsessing, and worrying, as well as ways to control it. We all have done these things, thinking too much about something, anticipating an event that causes us anxiety. It takes many forms. We can get so much anxiety just thinking about an important event that is about to happen. Instead of being in the moment and letting it go, we can obsess over it, adding new meaning that was never even there. Overthinking and worrying is generally the source of many people's problems. It can cause the individual so much stress and anxiety and contribute to depression and many other things. But why do we do this? Well, it's usually something negative, thinking about something in a negative way, thinking about the worst possible outcome for an event. Negativity speaks louder to us since we don't like to be criticized and hurt. We don't like to make ourselves appear inferior by exposing ourselves and showing people our weaknesses. This is something we all fear, but showing our weaknesses only makes us stronger. But in our mind, things don't always seem that way. From personal experience with obsessing and overanalyzing, I remember back when I was only talking with a few people online and I would constantly obsess over the messages I would send. I would read it several times before sending, and after I sent it, I would read it over again as well. I may have noticed mistakes, perhaps spelling or grammar-wise, and it would stress me out. I would even say to myself, I hope they understand what I'm trying to say and it doesn't come off in a weird way, because sometimes it did. I thought people would hate me for saying things incorrectly and never talk with me again. When they didn't reply right away, I would be in panic mode. You see, that is where the negativity came into place. I had constant thoughts about accidentally addressing the person by the wrong name or even sending the message to the wrong person. And even though this never happened, I obsessed over it. It was the worst when I would send a message in the evening and not hear a reply back that night. I would try to go to bed and the thoughts of the message were constantly running through my mind. I couldn't go to sleep. Then, when I finally did go to sleep, I would wake up in the middle of the night, terrified, out of my mind, thinking so much about just a silly message. It was so bad that I had to turn my computer back on and reread my message countless times to verify to myself it was alright, reading it back and ensuring myself it was correct, practically going letter by letter, reduced my anxiety. But no matter how many times I checked, the anxiety and obsessive thoughts would return and I had to verify everything was okay. I was extremely obsessive and it annoyed me beyond belief, causing me so much stress. It was only until the person replied back that the stress would be lifted. Presently, I don't really do this anymore with messages. I have learned to control this quite a bit, though I still am quite obsessive about my videos. When writing the description and text in my videos, I check it, practically going letter by letter, rechecking multiple times. Also, another odd thing I do is people have given me suggestions for videos, and it sounds like an interesting topic that I would love to cover at some point, but I put all of my videos into playlists, and some suggested video ideas don't really fit into these playlists, and I don't want to put it into the miscellaneous playlist. And then begin freaking out like, oh gosh, what playlist is this video going to go in? It needs to be organized, and that needs to be sorted out prior to even working on the video. So if I can't figure out what playlist it would fit in, I cannot do the video. And that's like the almost top priority. There are plenty of other things I obsess over as well, but perfectionism is probably at the top of the list, and it's stressful, annoying, yet satisfying in a way. So anyway, we all do this sort of thing to an extent. Some more than others, while others may not really do it as much as at all. Those with obsessive compulsive disorder have great anxiety, and this sort of thing really affects their lives. obsessing over things, repeatedly performing tasks, or having repetitive thoughts. The main goal of the compulsions is to alleviate the anxiety and stress of the obsessions. But what can we do about this? I'll discuss that now. What are some ways we can reduce excessive worrying and overthinking? Well, the first thing I tend to look at is the importance. Is it important? As with my example earlier, when I am obsessing over spelling, grammar, perfectionism, is that really important? Would someone hate me just because I made a few mistakes? If we can learn to take a step back and realize it doesn't really matter, we all make mistakes, who cares what people think about us? There will always be negative, but where there is negative, there is also positive. And looking at that is generally more important. But negatively speaks louder to us. We are more affected by the negative. We obsess more over the negative. So what I'm saying then is that many times we obsess over very silly and minor things that are really not significant to our lives. Which brings me to the next point, being in the moment and letting go of stress and anxiety. Many times when we are anxious about something and overthinking, we are anticipating something that is more than likely not going to happen. Being in the moment and going with the flow, letting go of those attachments can help one realize that we live in the here and now and plan our own future. So if you're worrying too much about doing something wrong, then you are filling yourself with self-doubt and anticipating the worst. And because of your negative frame of mind, you can have a hard time. By being positive, having confidence, seeing things positively, and living in the here and now, you will see that stressing over future events is irrelevant and unimportant. It's all about letting go of those negative attachments. Learning to let it go is natural, similar to relaxing your body. For example, your body is only tense when you make it so. When you are asleep, your body is relaxed because you are not stressed. When you're awake and there you are stressed, learning to relax is as simple as letting go. Letting go of the stress and anxiety of not only your body, but also your mind. Thoughts can make your body tense. This is the same exact principle applied to worrying and overthinking things. You are stressing yourself out and need to learn to relax by letting it go. For it is natural to do so, recognizing the behavior and letting go of it. And lastly, if you're worrying so much, perhaps you even have OCD where you constantly repeat tasks or have intrusive repetitive thoughts, another good way of coping with this is to find a positive outlet for your stress and overthinking, using your time constructively. Compulsions are a way for you to reduce your anxiety. That is your coping mechanism. The best thing then is to find a better way to reduce that anxiety. Letting it out in a different way that doesn't cause you even more distress would be positive. My video on reducing anxiety may explain more in this area. But basically, it's about learning to recognize the behavior, wanting to change it, and making an effort to change it by channeling it into something constructive. But the effort should be simple and not cause you more stress. It should be natural. So in the end, overthinking, overanalyzing, obsessing, and worrying is something we all do in various degrees. If one can learn to let those intrusive thoughts go, live in the moment, and find a better outlet for the anxiety that these cause, then you can significantly reduce how much you worry, realizing it's not relevant or important to anticipate such things. So I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.